Good day to everyone who is watching. In our lesson 1 today of matrices, we are going to introduce ourselves to what a matrix is and what is always inside a matrix. So a matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or letters enclosed in large brackets. What is inside there, the matrix, is their entries, and those entries are called just elements. So I'll be mentioning elements instead of the entries. So these elements have particular positions where they lie within a matrix. That is a particular row with a corresponding particular column. So suppose I have my matrix A, which is equal to A11, then A12, A21, A22, which is again equivalent to the 0, the -1, the 5, and then a 3. Now, how to identify the rows and then the columns? That is the biggest problem to most of the students, to identify those two. So the rows, for them, they run in that direction. That is, to me, I'm seeing horizontal. They are horizontal. Then the columns, they are vertical. So my element A11 corresponds to a 0. My element A12 corresponds to a -1. My element 21 corresponds to a 5. My element 22 corresponds to a 3. Then these suffix here, that is the 11, simply we mean the first row, first column. A12, first row, second column. A21, second row, first column. A22, second row, second column. And actually we begin with rows and then we follow them by the columns. So the rows and then the columns. Then I can have another one. My matrix B, which is equivalent to so I can have my matrix B like that. The A11 corresponds to a 1. Then the A23 corresponds to a 9. This corresponds to that. Then the A33 corresponds to a 11, and so many, and so forth. So we are having the element here to be the element in the third row, second column. That is, when I count the rows 1, 2, 3, then I count the columns as 1, 2. So that is where I find the A32. And the A32 in that matrix corresponds to a negative what? A negative 4. So you should be able to know how those the elements, where they lie within the matrix, the column and the what? And the rows. So that one takes us to an order of a matrix. So order of a matrix, this is just the number of rows and the number of columns in a given matrix. So suppose I'm having identify the order of the following matrices. Matrix M is 2, 1. So I count the number of rows. That is 1, 2. So I begin with the number of rows. then followed by the number of columns. So this one has only one column. So we read that one as a 2 by 1. We read it as a 2 by 1, but when we are writing it, we write it like that. So when you see that in matrices, it is not 2 times 1, no. It is just an order of a matrix that is 2 by 1. So order here, the B, I count the number of columns, I'm seeing 1, then the number of rows, 1, 2, that is the order of that matrix, okay? So when I go to the order of matrix P, when I count the number of rows, 1, 2, then columns, they are also a 2. So it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Then part D, I'm having my matrix Q as negative 11, 2, 6, 5, then 9, 21. So the order of my matrix Q, number of columns, sorry, number of rows, 1, 2, 3. Then number of columns, they are 2. So you can note that if someone says a 2 by 1 matrix, that this is not the same as someone who says a 1 by 2 matrix, because you can see here they are totally different matrices. So I don't expect someone to say that this is the same as that. So try out those numbers and then you'll be giving me a feedback.